No, your speakers aren't broken. I was just wearing my Minecraft creeper mask because we're celebrating Creeper Week on LockerGnome.com. Hello, world! I'm Chris Pirillo. Do not be afraid. I am not actually a creeper. In case you didn't know that. I'm creepy, but not a creeper. This is the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news. Ooh, I almost said something else. I'm glad I didn't, though. Because if I would have said it, I couldn't take it back. This is live on YouTube. I'm going to try that again. Boop! Hello, world! I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, hey, Chris, how can I get your autograph? With Diana's autograph right next to it on a postcard that it looks a lot like this that you may have received in the mail today, but I didn't receive it yet because you haven't sent us your autograph. The answer to that question is patrons at a certain level can request an autograph from Diana and myself, and we will be signing these postcards. Got a lot of them to go through. Hopefully, we will have that many patrons at the level at which they can request the autograph. I can't remember what it is at this point. Thank you to the 728 people who believe in us enough to say, you know what, Chris, I'm willing to say that your, value is at least $2 a month. That's nice. It really is nice to be compared to your favorite beverage, really. Hopefully, I am much more satisfying than your favorite beverage. And if I'm not, you might want to just go drink it instead of watching this video. I will go ahead and play through the list of patron credits at some point during this broadcast. But let me first say I apologize for not getting the link for the What Would You Do video, the exclusive patron video, shared to the patron website yesterday. However, it was linked in the Monday link roundup for you patrons, so you should have already had it. It is in the unlisted playlist for you to watch. What would I do without Star Wars? It's probably, to me, I was kind of disappointed because not a lot of patrons have seen it yet, and I was very, very proud of it. Like, extremely proud of that video. And I almost want to make it public, but I can't. It's a patron-only value. It's what I promised, so I'm going to stay true to my promises. A lot of news today. From the world of geekery, including the Disney Store launching at some point this year an array of new Star Wars products. They're gearing up for not just Rebels, the new cartoon that's going to be coming out, but Episode 7, which is going to be released next year. Cannot wait. That is something I'm very much looking forward to, being a Star Wars geek myself. Let me, before I dive too deep into this, let me just get this out of the way. There were a lot of announcements today in relation to companies' earning reports, like Apple and Facebook and all these companies that have gone public or are public. And that stuff's kind of interesting to some people, but I don't. This may come to a shock to some of you, but I don't hold stock in any company, really. I know I've been accused of it, but I've never done it. I've thought about it. I'm thinking maybe I should just buy some stock in some of these companies that I like. Just so that when people think I hate them, I can go, it's not true. I don't hate them enough that I own their stock. People, they're going to accuse me of wacky things, like being a creeper. Like, okay, where's your proof, people? Other than visiting LockerGnome.com, which I'm assuming many of you guys are doing. Let me go ahead and flip this off for now and go through with a couple of other bits of news before I remind people of something very, very important that you need to do right now. There is something that you need to do right now, but I'm going to tell you in a couple minutes. Patron Stephen Palmer sent me this news. Microsoft is set to release large Windows updates twice a year as a part of their rapid release cycle. That is exciting. I like that. I like knowing that there's a refresh right around the corner with any operating system. With OS X, it has been annually, and it's fine. But I'd be happy to see Microsoft going on a biannual. No, by month. See, I almost said 6, but it almost came out 6. That was not going to be what I wanted to say. And since this is live, I can't edit that out. I also can't edit out the time when I said edited. Edited? It's not even a word. You can make a word. Make up a word. Edited. What does it mean? They're set to release updates for Windows twice a year. We've already seen the recent update with Windows 8.1. That was a good update for everybody out there. And I recommend everybody install that if you have Windows 8.1. If you have Windows 8, you should be updating to Windows 8.1. No questions asked. But the next update for Windows may be rolling around in August, and it is suggested, as was showed off at Build. Showed off at Build? Who am I? Put on a creeper mask and I go nuts. Can't even talk. Jeez, thank goodness. I don't know where I was going with that. I hate when I do that. Hang on. This is what happens when I don't drink wine while I'm doing live videos. My drunk videos, as patrons have attested, are the best. So I apologize for not being drunk right now. The next update should have the start menu returning to Windows. That's possible. Coming later this year in August. Not too far away, though. Pretty nice announcement. There have always been a series of leaks put out by people who are allegedly in the know. But this is definitely news. The fact that Microsoft's ramping up to do what would you call that? Twice annual release schedule? Kind of nice. Yahoo! He's not down for the count. If you can write well, you're probably not watching this video, and I don't mean to slag anybody, but it tends to be that if you're a tech journalist or a tech writer, you may not be watching the videos that I produce. That's what it's been like in the past, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay. Tech writers tend to watch other kinds of videos. That's fine. But if you are a tech writer and you want to work for Yahoo as a tech writer, potentially even a reporter, there's a difference between a writer and a reporter, right? Most of the writers out there these days are just regurgitators. They're not actually reporting They're not actually reporting the news like a reporter would do. I'm not a reporter. I guess I'm kind of a writer. I'm a regurgitator. Some days I can speak better than on other days. But if you wanted to get hired by Yahoo, I've got the links for you in this video's description. If I do not have those links down there, please make me aware that I don't have those links down there. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. So now, here's the thing you have to do, because I wanted to make sure I got some news in there before I told people what you need to do. On every YouTube channel that you love, including this one, and the vlog YouTube channel, if you follow the vlog YouTube channel, you see, maybe on the page you're looking at or on our channel page, you'll see a little button that's kind of grayed out. It says subscribed. Subscribed? You see it? Okay, telltale sign you're looking at the right thing. There's a little gear icon next to it. I'm not talking about the gear icon in the video embed. Wrong gear icon, folks. I'm talking about the gear icon on a youtube.com page. You look at the page, look for the gear icon next. It's slap up against it. They were just conjoined. Like, subscribed, grayed out, gear icon, also grayed out. Click that gear icon. Click it. You can click it right now if you want. Click it. You're going to see a little pop-up window, and it's going to say, hey, do you want to receive updates when this channel uploads new videos? Yes! Yes, you do want to receive updates. So just check that top button. You'll know exactly when we've uploaded a new video. That's it. It's that easy. Click the right gear icon, which is to the right of the subscribe button directly. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Now, there's another option right now, and I'm not exactly sure if you want to put a check mark in that, because I think by leaving the check mark out, you can track my other activity on YouTube. It's kind of that's creepy, really. So if you want to stay up to date when we upload a new video on either channel, click the gear icon. Do not miss it. iOS 7.1 code has indicated that Apple is working on Siri, or something like Siri, for Apple TV. Make sense? Amazon has that with Fire TV, although it's not exactly system wide, that feature. But it would be nice if it was. Instead of having to key in, even with a really simple to use iOS app, a remote for the Apple TV, it'd be nice to just go, Game of Thrones, and then have it pop up, go automatically into the HBO app, and start playing the recent Game of Thrones episode. Even if I could say, play, what's another show I like? Oh, I'll tie this into a bit of news. Play 6 Feet Under, Season 4, Episode 3. And then it would know where to go and play it automatically instead of you having to jump through hoops if you knew exactly what you wanted to see. And the reason why I bring that up, 6 Feet Under, is because also in the news, HBO has struck a deal with Amazon so that some of HBO's library will be available to Amazon Prime members, including 6 Feet Under, which, in my opinion, that's easily... Game of Thrones #1. Got to give it to Game of Thrones. for number one, but easily number two, very close to number one, 6 Feet Under. Great series. I never got into The Sopranos as much. I'm not really, a Soprano kind of guy, a mafia kind of person, but I loved 6 Feet Under, even though I hate dead things. I love you when you're dead. Don't worry, I will mourn you. I was not trying to be macabre there, but streamed a bit of news in there too. See how I did that? I crossed the news streams. That takes skill. Like talking. I can't do that very well today either. All right, hang on. All right. So while we're on the topic of Amazon Prime, Ryan Bragg sent me an email with a list of links, news links, including this one. I would have missed it otherwise. Prime subscribers, Amazon Prime subscribers, spend twice as much as non-Prime members, while Kindle owners spend 30% more than non-Kindle owners, says Consumer Intelligence Research Partners. So, the bottom line is, I love this kind of statistic, because they're saying the studies only prove what I believed was true. People pay money for Prime. They know they're getting value. They're spending money. And when you spend money, you're willing to spend more time and attention on something that you're spending money on. It makes absolute sense to me that you guys wonder why the patrons mean so much. They're spending their money on this stuff that I'm creating for them, trying not to suck. But they also give me the latitude when I do suck on certain days. Or they'll say, no, Chris, that was your finest hour. In my head, that's the voice in my head saying that. It was interesting news to me, but it kind of really it made sense. You spend money on something, you value it greater than something that you get for free or that you're not paying for. You're spending money on something. It's automatically worth more to you. That's why I stopped doing free events a long time ago. Just getting people to show up was difficult. But it's interesting. You want to throw an event. If you make it free, you'll get some registrations, but the flake rate will be high. Whereas if you create an event and, say, charge $7, $5, $2, whatever it happens to be, more people will show up. They're willing to show up because they put their money out there. They'll show up. So here's a little tip for you. You want people to actually care? Have them spend money. They'll actually care because they're spending money. So I'm very grateful that CIRP, my God, I'm really off base today. It's sitting right in front of me. I can't see. Thank you. I don't know what is wrong with me today. It's that taco. Speaking of Amazon and patrons, I received this from a patron today. Thank you. Of course, you know me. Adult fan of Lego and lifetime fan of Star Wars. Austin James Roulette says, enjoy your gift. Keep up the great work. I hope you like this. From Austin, a loyal patron. Thank you for the gift message. This will be showing up in the vlog today, too. I likely had this on my wish list, if only for the Bark Trooper. Not a huge fan of the Battle Droids figures or the Super Battle Droids. Those aren't as exciting to me, but the Bark Trooper, that is absolutely worth it. Plus, look at all those unique pieces. Love them. Quick set to assemble. Great minifig. I am happy. You can go back in time to the beginning of this video and hoping that I'm going to do it better. That may not happen, though, because it's already taken place. But you can go back in time with Google Street View. Can I trouble you for some more water?
Sure.
Did you understand anything I was saying? Thank you. Diana, my production team, crew, audience, person. Thank you. Sorry, baby. I went through it all. You can fill it up with vodka if you want. We'll make an interesting second half. You can go back in time with Google Street View. Now, and I don't think you can go like way, way, way back in time, like 2007. Basically, when Google started recording data for Street View. You know, have you ever been out a street going, oh, I remember, in 2008, there was a sandwich shop right there. Well, with Google Street View, you can now travel back in time. Slightly. Not like way back in time, because Google didn't exist, right? So you couldn't record the street that way, at least not easily. It'd be kind of neat if you could. Now, granted, like 100 years from now, that data is going to be awesome. Right now, you could do it. It works. I mean, It's a nice little feature that Google has. Go back in time with Google Street View. They blogged about it earlier. Blogging. Speaking of blogging, before I forget, we've got our, I guess, our group blog for geeks at LockerGnome.com. I should probably pull that up as a visual, if only to see what we've posted today. Don't know if you guys visit LockerGnome.com on a regular basis. But look, I told you, Minecraft Creeper Week. We've got all sorts of creeper coolness. Ooh, some Doctor Who stuff. Cooking for geeks. Hang on, I'm keying in on the Doctor Who. It's Time Lord versus Time Lord in Doctor Who Street Fighter. Haha, so cool. Oh, a mug that you can draw on with chalk. All right. I always have fun on my own website. I realize that I shouldn't. It should be very serious work. My personal blog, chris.pirillo.com, we've used for a variety of reasons, but the primary reason today is to see me in a dress, apparently. I don't know why I keep pulling up these wacky images of myself when I pull up my blog. I'm answering people's questions every day on my blog, chris.pirillo.com. We've been doing this for about a week, but honestly, I don't see anybody reacting. I don't think anybody, I mean, I know you care. You're watching this video this far. I know you care, but I don't know if you care as much for the time that we're putting into these blog posts answering your questions. I like answering your questions, but I don't really want to take the time to answer your questions if the questions that I'm answering you didn't care about. At which point I wonder, why are you asking the question? Or if anybody else is interested in me answering the questions that other people are asking. So we're going to keep doing this in public for a while, and I'm going to be posing this question to patrons specifically as I begin to run through the list of credits here. The thing I'm thinking about is continuing with this AMA-style blog format, but doing that just for patrons. So answering questions, but I'll answer everybody's questions, but making that answer really available to patrons, because I put it out there in public and no one cares. I mean, literally, I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at the web stats. I'm going, nobody's paying attention. Nobody cares. At which point you wonder, well, Chris, why are you doing something if nobody cares? Well, that's what I have to ask myself. So I got to steer towards the people who care. And if you did care, you would have read it. And I didn't see it anywhere. I certainly would never see it on Reddit, but I'm saying you wouldn't have read it on the website, and the stats just don't lie. I don't know what to tell you. So I may be taking a lot of my AMA private, just for patrons. At some point in the near future, I'm going to let patrons decide the fate of that direction. Really, the only way of kind of countering that is by paying attention and doing it, not just saying you're going to do it. There's a difference between doing something and saying you're going to do something. Like, for example, if you say you're going to get me a cup of water, you're going to get me a cup of water. Like this cup of water that's in front of me right now, which I am now going to drink. Tequila? All right. Okay. This is how we're going to play it. Whew! I can't even remember how I reacted to tequila. It's been that long since I had a shot. You know, I'll never forget the first time I had tequila. No, maybe not the first time. The first time I got blitzed in college. I was over the age of 21, by the way. I drank. I started really after I was 21. And that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. Thank you, hon. I was honorable that way. And I remember just, tequila. What was it? Like lick, drink, suck? I can't remember the hell it went. There's something with a lime and salt and tequila. And we took what's that? I said bodies. That's what happened afterwards. We took 5 shots in a row. And I'm like, that's it? That's what everyone's going gaga about? And then all of a sudden, ding! That's tequila. It sneaks up on you and hits you in the back of the head. Kind of like our videos. This is water, by the way. And I am a responsible adult.
Ew. Nasty.
Speaking of nasty, we have a name your own price bundle for Mac users. Ew. Say it with me. Ew, Mac users. Oh, they're disgusting. They don't shave. I didn't obviously shave, and I am a Mac user. So, yes, we've got a name your own price bundle. If you want Mac software and you don't want to spend a lot of money, we've got something for you. Okay? Oh, I know. You want to use the argument there's no software for the Mac, but doesn't really work. Doesn't hold water. Might hold tequila though. Keep that up. That outmoded argument that some people just want to throw around as if they're living in 2007. See how I did that? I tied it into the news again. That takes talent, people. That I do not own. So, name your own price for Mac software. Link is in this video's description. Deals.LockerGnome.com. I'm being challenged to take a shot. Live on YouTube there. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's some good stuff. Clears the sluices on both ends. Yeah, you have that visual there. It's exactly where I was going with that. Okay, next little news story. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Microsoft. Have you heard of this company? Been around for a little while now. I know not a lot of people know it exists anymore, but it still does. Even though I've been having a problem. Okay, everyone keeps at everyone. Now I'm turning into you. Diana sees one tweet and suddenly it's everybody. Okay, I have had at least 2 people ask me, Chris, what are you going to... Seriously, just 2 people, the 2 people who use the Windows Phone now. They said, Chris, when are you going to push out a LockerGnome app for Windows Phone? And I said, well, the API is there for you to use if you want to do it. Well, I can't program. Well, I can't help you because I don't program either, and then I got to support it. And I do not want to spend all my day babysitting and supporting things. It's not what I do. It's not in my job description. If it requires babysitting, assume Chris is not interested, including a baby.
What about the dogs?
I don't really puppy sit. Okay, anyway, back to Windows Phone. Trying to get me off topic there. I've been trying to solve this problem. It won't let me update. This is a problem. And then the screen turns off when I ignore it. No, it was in power mode. I wasn't ignoring it. I cannot update my phone. This is the latest public version of Windows Phone whatever. Microsoft finally released a desktop preview app for Windows Phone 8.1. Congratulations, Microsoft. Now, what's interesting about this, because I know you're wondering, like, wait a minute, didn't Microsoft have the remote desktop tool for iOS and Android already? Even though Chris can't really talk? Yes, they did. It's free. You can download it right now if that is something of interest to you. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I want to try it, if only to see what the Windows 8 interface is like on my... I'll have it connected to like the Surface PC and then interoperate with it on my iPad. I'll have Windows 8 on my iPad effectively with that tool. Kind of fun. It's now available for Windows Phone. Rejoice. Rejoice. We're happy to hear this. Etsy buys Grand Street, the handmade marketplace. Etsy, you may have heard of before. You may not have heard of Grand Street before. It's a marketplace for indie electronics. And I love Etsy. I love Etsy. There are very few online retailers that I love. I love Etsy because it's a great place for artisans to create things and sell them directly to people. I've purchased a few things through Etsy. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find one here. I don't know if I've highlighted this particular creation in anything but a Pirillo vlog the day I got it. This is a custom carved Darth Vader crayon. Sorry, let's see if I can... Is it showing up a little better? I could take it out of the container, but I don't want to smudge the inside of the container. There's an artist who carves characters into crayons. And I got that off of Etsy. Wait, I'll do it like your favorite YouTuber girl who held it back here. Apparently, it's the reason why you hold your hand. A makeup guru, I learned this from Diana. Makeup gurus do this. They hold it up to the camera, whatever the object is, and they put their hand behind it so that the camera goes in focus. Well, apparently there's a makeup guru out there who was doing the same thing, but back here. And people were like, why are you doing it back there? And she said, well, because I see other makeup gurus doing it. I'm like, well, they're doing it closer to the camera so that you can see it, it goes in focus. So that's why.
And she thought it was so it went into the background.
Oh, she thought it... Thank you. I'm just going to let you rewind, and if Diana was quiet, you can hear her by turning up the volume. Baby, can you hand me Jazz's...
I
You love who?
That
The makeup guru who didn't realize that this was to keep things in focus. I'm not holding on to anything. Do not refocus. This is a object art original stitch. Was it cross stitch?
Yeah.
Was it? Or like needlepoint? I can't remember. This is just handcrafted Darth Vader from our friend Jasmine. I told her she should have sold this on Etsy.
Yeah.
She gifted this to me, and I'm eternally grateful. If you wanted custom art, Jasmine's got her own Etsy shop now.
Yeah.
I love Jasmine. You can't get this stuff in a store. And to find a marketplace, you got to find the artist's website. Well, that's what Etsy's good for. And this is the kind of thing that Jasmine's now doing for people at a very affordable rate.
Yeah.
I keep telling her she needs to raise her rates. I'm not kidding either, hon.
But it takes so much time.
It takes so much time, and the craftsmanship is it's stellar. Chris Miller, the person who's drawn various things for me, is also now on Etsy. I'm still using his Star Wars Hand of Hamsa as my iPhone wallpaper right there. It's kind of nice. I like that. The Hand of Hamsa, it's the evil eye, protecting from evil eye. So they acquired a indie electronics marketplace. Nice. So if you wanted electronic stuff, gadget stuff, and it's not, big name stuff, but it's still cool and it really works well, there's a chance. And now you can go through Etsy's trusted brand. I love that. I think that is genius. Congratulations, Etsy. Cannot wait to see what happens in the future with what you're doing, in connecting people who love original stuff with people who can create original stuff. Not to, really throw you off at all, but I wanted to... I don't think I can do this every day, and I don't talk about it all that often, but I mentioned... not in an offhanded way, but yesterday I mentioned that I probably won't follow you on social unless you're doing really creative things. This is just the kind of stuff I like. And I'm not going to say I'm going to do an Instagram artist of the day kind of thing, but I may show you a few of the artists or the people that are doing really cool things on Instagram as I see them for you to possibly follow in social as well. And I know they're probably on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, but Instagram is very visual. So remember the other day when we talked about Picklezilla in the vlog? The big pickle, and I posted this photo of me holding up a pickle in front of Diana. It was big. Well, this guy, and gosh, I'm trying to get the brightness on this phone just right so you can see. Dan_solo_galleries ended up messaging me his modified version of Picklezilla. It's great. It's great. Thank you, Dan. And I said, you can even share. I told him, I said, you can share it in your feed. I don't care. I think what you're doing is wonderful. He's one of the people that I follow because he posts creative stuff. He does commissions of drawings. Look at that. Lego mini. He drew that in marker for somebody. I believe that's a drawing. I couldn't tell you if it's pencil or whatnot. He drew that as well or painted it as well. Star Wars, Lego, creative. Are you guys sensing a theme with the kind of stuff that this guy does? So there's my artist of the day. Oh my God, he did a bunny Boba Fett. That's great. I love it. I love it. So Dan_solo_galleries. Kind of got a long username, but well worth following. Thank you for doing what you do because I'm inspired by artists out there. Google Collections. Speaking of artists, I think developers, software developers are my rock stars. They're my artists too. Google Collections is an idea that may be coming to Chrome at some point in the near future. Someone on Google Plus, who's actually using Google Plus and using it very well, uncovered some bits of code inside of Chrome that would suggest that Google's working on a way that within Google Chrome, you could favorite a page and suddenly it would become a part of your collection. And, whether this is kind of like taking the idea of a social network and extending it to the browser, or what, I don't know. We haven't necessarily seen it, but he's got details listed on his Google Plus post. Well worth reading because this seems very, very interesting. So one of the things that we're trying to do specifically with LockerGnome is creating things and sharing really cool things every day that you would want to share with other people. Why would you not want to share with other people the idea that a Minecraft creeper pillow exists or the anatomy of a creeper diagram picture thing exists? Or a Minecraft skull cap. Or I'm sorry, not just Minecraft, a creeper skull cap. We're finding things that we think are shareable or worth sharing. So we really appreciate when you share the things that we're sharing with you. It's a shareable thing. Can you do that? With us? For us? Because I can't do it for you. We can only surface this cool stuff. Then you have to do the rest. And so I think it's interesting that Google would be taking that step within the web browser, Chrome, with the idea of collections. We'll see if it ever sees the light of day, but count me in as one of the people who would be a fan of that, if only because we are trying to create stuff that's worth sharing. And honestly, if you're not creating stuff that's worth sharing, and you're creating stuff, well, what are you doing? You're creating stuff, but it should be worth sharing. Maybe you want to share this video with other people, the one that you're watching right now, or maybe you are absolutely embarrassed by it. I don't know. I was kind of embarrassed by it, but I've come around again in the live video here. I'm just grateful I don't have to edit. A couple more things before I wrap up. I should probably wait on it, but I did promise John I would pay attention. Apple apparently has a patent to kill distracted driving in such a way that hasn't been done before with apps that you could get for your smartphone. Well, if Apple works on a way, and they've got the patent, or if now it's cleared the patent office, to basically kill the idea, and not to use that word lightly, kill the idea of distracted driving, it would be great to have that baked in to the operating system, just like having the kill switch baked into the OS is absolutely crucial. To me, that's what sets iOS apart. It's baked in. You know, I can find my iPhone, wipe remotely. It's not even a question. So I really appreciate Apple making things easier for consumers because, no doubt about it, the world has seen way too many deaths due to distracted driving. So don't text and drive is the message. Just so you know, Apple may likely be incorporating something like that within iOS at some point in the not too distant future, possibly. That'd be interesting for iOS 8. That'd be a nice addition, saving lives. That's a great feature. We'll see how the implementation works. I was going to mention piedpiper.com, but I'm not going to. You'll have to look at it yourself and decide whether or not you would ever use piedpiper.com. Only a few people are going to get that. Just don't look too hard at the logo. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for this particular video recording. I really appreciate your support, any kind of support that you guys give. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to kick in the screensaver. I'll kick it in at the end. There you go. I said I'll kick in the screensaver right here at the end. In a half hour or so, I'm going to be recording my What Would You Do video. Heather Capali asks, would you pay for Microsoft Office 365 every year or purchase Microsoft Office 2010 or 2013 and pay only once and use it forever? Great question. She's asking what I would do. I will answer that question in a separate video, patron only. If you're a patron, you can see that video. If not, you can become a patron right now. Head over to chrispirillo.com. Either way, thanks again for remembering to like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the gear icon next to the subscribed button so you get our updates on YouTube. That'd be awesome if you did. Watch more of our videos right now. And even if you don't, well, I'm still going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.